intro. Ashish, please come.
Okay, hey everyone. So probably you already know me. Now it's my different hat today for this session. So I'm the product lead for AI Ops and Observability space, looking towards data ingestion pipeline and infrastructure observability as part of Broadcom. And with me is Srini, who's our open open data pipeline and CNCF champion. Okay, he's the advocate for all the CNCF projects in here in this campus. Okay, so you want to talk about?
No, that's okay. Yeah, I think so. Myself, Srinivas, Srini. You can call me Srini. I work as a software architect in Broadcom. I think Atul mentioned it very clear, right? So in the first introduction, what he said, whoever sits there, come and talks in some another years like that, right? Where I started my journey in 2020, attending in Bangalore. Most of the sessions I attended in the Bangalore, and I tried at least covered in India all KCDs, Chennai, Kerala, that was in Kochi, and then Bangalore, most of it, including Hyderabad, and Cube Days, KubeCon last Delhi. Again, I'm excited to attend Hyderabad, KubeCon, our home town KubeCon. I think I'll encourage you guys also come and attend. That was quick intro. Yeah.
Thanks, Srini. Okay, with this, so let's probably start with quick product overview. It will be, I don't want to do a sales pitch in here. Okay, it's just about, since the theme is observability, it will act as a more of a 101, okay, of observability, how a enterprise scale observability platform looks like or should look like, okay, at high level use cases. Starting with left to right, okay, so one key thing is first talking about data collection piece of it. Okay, we heard about eBPF. From the observability space, that is one of the mediums of collecting your telemetry. Okay. Similarly, across the different stack, if it's a full stack observability solution, starting from your mainframe to mobile to applications to infrastructure, anything and everything in between needs to be observed. Okay, a tool which can help you monitor what can be monitored is something our observability tool offers. So it starts with collection or capturing your telemetry data. For that, until a few years back, like before 2019, I would say, that used to be an art. Okay, why I say it was an art? Because it used to be proprietary agents developed which used to help collect that telemetry in a form which is recommended by the technology providers. Okay, not everything was very refined in terms of resource utilization, in terms of security and other things. But since then, 2019 is the year where OpenTelemetry was introduced, especially for this audience. Okay, where things started getting standardized. So you can see from a data collection perspective, OpenTelemetry earlier with Open Tracing and eBPF now. Okay, so what it is happening is data collection is getting commoditized. Okay, you can collect your telemetry in terms of metrics, events, logs, and traces, but what you do with that, especially with the very ephemeral and vivid inventory and architecture which is there, or the technical stack which is there, that's what makes a difference, and that's where the observability piece comes in. If you see from left to right, we have our own agents. We support OpenTelemetry. For at a container level for microservice, we do eBPF, as I was kind of cheekingly said to the previous speaker, okay, not Datadog, but also Broadcom does it. Okay, is we help collect all the melt data, and then what is done with that? Okay, with the volume of data coming in, the variety of data coming in, you want to make sure you get information out of it, the insights out of it. Okay, and for that, we, for us or for any other platform in that sense, needs to have a data lake where that data can be put in. It needs to be normalized, correlated, massaged in a way that is consumable to the different stakeholders. Okay, it's about the connected domain intelligence where your data is democratized to be consumed, whether it's an application owner, application developer, it could be your infrastructure admins or the business line owners as well. So that's where it comes to be using that data for your AI ops use cases. When I say AI ops, it means to an end. What you do with that data. If it's matrix, can you do anomaly detection? Okay, without manual intervention. Can you reduce those alert volume by alarm noise reduction, And then gradually we have started switching towards OpenTelemetry technologies to help customers or users, especially application owners, they can just enable their hotel API. Okay, and the telemetry or observability is in place at the time of code itself. Okay, that's something. And then as an observability tool, okay, we can collect that data dynamically, and that's why I started embracing all these technologies. And what we can provide as an enterprise grade tool is both outside in view, okay, coming from the OEM technology providers themselves, and inside out view, where what is the guest payload running, your application running, capturing at user plane level if in case required, or at your system calls, and then getting the data out. Okay, that's where the Broadcom picture comes in. And yeah, this is kind of what we get out of it. I was talking about a picture is about 1,000 words, the top corner. You can see a end-to-end view, how my deployment looks like, single pane of glass, what's the utilization, data collection, how my topology from app to infra looks like. In case there is a domino effect, if one of the component goes down, one of the CI goes down, what is the impact around it? That's something which we can offer. And that all is built on not only just our proprietary agents in terms of data collection or proprietary technologies, but also with open source technologies. And why open source technologies? Because that is something which is getting adopted at the technology layer level as well. Okay, like I said, a lot of application developers, if you are generating code using code assist today, by default, if you give a prompt that it should be observability ready at heart, it will make sure your OTel APIs are enabled. Okay, that's something which is coming in. Hence, we as a product company are making sure that we are tapping that data, we're making sure your payloads and applications are observability ready with no code or zero code. That's where we come in. Okay, so I'll pass on now to Srini to talk on more technical. It was more high level, getting the whole, how the observability law of land looks like. Okay, what's the complexity, what's the value. But as we go down the line, especially for this audience, okay, it's not just that our proprietary agents are required or the open source technology, it's a combination of both, which gives value, especially for the enterprise grade. Okay, a lot of customers have been using our tool and they are reluctant to switch over. And there are some new ways of modern deployments where we see there's gaps that can be filled with our domain expertise what we have, and hence we will be now talking about how these different technologies work in tandem in an enterprise grade tool, okay, to provide value in terms of observability to our customers.
Okay. Thanks Ashish. Hope I'm audible, right? Okay. So thanks for great introduction. Okay. So let's make it little interactive, right? Okay. How many of you here using OpenTelemetry or any other observability tools in the production or just started using it? I know all Broadcom guys, they are, but other things? Okay, that's good number. Is it like, it's not lunchtime, guys? Hope you are not raising hands or not using it. All are new to observability? I think, yeah, I see quite good number of hands there. But again, thanks, nice to see the number. Again, so welcome you all in this observability journey. Okay, so let's start with it. So, okay, let me, you know what, why observability? Okay, let me share a quick story. That's better. Let me rewind it back. A few years ago, okay, so we have bunch of microservices running in our production. Okay, so all of a sudden, the pods were crashing down. Some pods were restarting. Okay, so immediately what we do, right? We check the logs showed nothing. Dashboards were green. Okay, but support team keep on saying that application was not responding. Application was slow. How many of you here come across this kind of situations? Sounds familiar, right? So, yeah, this is where observability matters, right? So, I think it is very simple to explain, right? So, what observability needs? You need telemetry. As Ashish explained, you need matrices, you need traces, you need logs, you need events, all working together, all connected together, right? That's the important piece with the right context. The context is very much important in the observability, right? With the right context, that is where OpenTelemetry comes into the place. The OpenTelemetry gives you unified way for data collection. They have defined very good standards, right? The beauty of OpenTelemetry, if you ask me, it is a pluggable architecture. Once you collect the data, you can plug into anywhere, any observability backend. It could be Prometheus, it could be Grafana, it could be observability backends like DXO2, right? We can make use of any kind of thing. Okay, so this is where let's see, how OpenTelemetry and observability backends give you the good, single pane of glass where you can see the complete data, which already Ashish explained in the previous screens, right? I'm not going to say them, but once your data is ingested in, what is going to happen, right? It is processed, correlated, stored for long-term analytics, right? Then onwards, observability backends provides you like, so dashboards, triaging tools, analytics, right? SLIs, SLOs, whatnot. There are more, right? So let me, let's talk about little bit on this diagram. Okay, we'll come from left to right. The left is where all ingestion starts from, right? That's where you can see applications which are like, developed using various languages like Java, .NET, all app type of applications, right? Then if you see the bottom, you have a infrastructure like Kubernetes, cloud, databases, remaining other things, right? So you see the blue box, that is the OpenTelemetry. So you can see that is the hotel collector mainly. It is the heart of OpenTelemetry. It is their flagship component of the OpenTelemetry. It is responsible for collecting data from applications and infrastructure. Then how applications are going to send the data to hotel collector, right? That's where agents comes into the place, SDK comes into the place, APIs comes into the place. What are the agents? Agents, if you see, there are many bytecode instrumented agents. You would see like they does the probing into your runtime, the code exactly do, some people even call it as a monkey patching. So it does the pre and post hooks and collects the data. It is out of the box auto instrumentation most of the case, right? So, and if you see the data collection wise, we can mostly talk about two models, push based model and pull based model, right? Most of the applications like agents uses the push based model, and infrastructure mostly use the pull based model. Okay, now let's see the OpenTelemetry collector. If you see, it is mainly consist of three components: the receivers, processor, exporter. Okay, the receivers accept the incoming traffic and fans out to processor. What processor does it? It enhances and enriches the data, and there are wide variety of processors are available. Once it is done its job, again fans out to exporter. What exporter does is, exporter sends the data to any observability backend, right? So now let's talk about how it sends OpenTelemetry data. Mainly it uses the OTLP protocol. You might have heard about OTLP protocol. What is it stands for? OpenTelemetry line protocol, right? So it provides rich semantics. The OpenTelemetry provided a lot of standards in this standardizing. These are all resource semantics. So that way any vendor can speak in a ubiquitous language, right? So we all talk in the same terminology when it comes to the context. See, your context is right, you can do good job in the backend. So that's where OpenTelemetry helps us. Okay, OpenTelemetry, if you ask me why it is so famous, it's not defined just standards. It gave us rich toolkit. That's where for you it is easy to bring any kind of a agent here. So that's where OpenTelemetry really excels, right? So it gives the OpenTelemetry main thing, all kind of language agents, and it gives you even eBPF, it gives you hotel collector, all these things. Okay, in today's demo what I'm going to talk about it here, I'm going to use some two demo applications. One is the OpenTelemetry demo application. It is provided by the community. We'll see in the second slide. Okay, the next one is, these are all applications I deployed in the Kubernetes cluster, which are cloud native applications. Okay, I'm going to monitor using UMA. UMA is our universal monitoring agent. This is out of the box. It can monitor without using of any receivers, scrappers, anything. Just you deploy UMA, it does entire its job. It takes care of the entire your Kubernetes core components, okay, and also workloads. It gives you comprehensive correlation between applications and infrastructure. That is the main beauty. So today what I'm going to demo in my demo, I'm going to showcase an issue which was faced by one of our enterprise customer. Okay, most of the demos people show errors, I got database down, or some coding error came, but I'm not going to show that particular part here. But in this demo, what customer faced the issue. Okay, so they have seen application was not responding properly. The example which I gave, right? So it was not completely down, but it is not responding. It, let's say if it is responding 10 requests per second, now it is only doing 5. That means there is some slow, right? Why it was happened? When we saw with our UMA, then we within a real time we understood that there was some CPU pressure going on specific node. That pod is scheduled on that node. That is the reason it causes the slowness to that pod. So I tried to simulate the same scenario for my demo, which I am going to show now. Let's see in the next slide. How many of you guys see this diagram? Left side one. It's very known one, right? Excuse me. It's very known one. It is a e-commerce application provided by the OpenTelemetry community. I reused the same OpenTelemetry community one. Why I like this is they covered good number of languages. What not? They have covered everything. I think C, Java, .NET, Python, PHP. There are many more. Okay. So if you see, they have a bunch of microservices, all are application related. So when you deploy the OpenTelemetry, by default it gives you the application monitoring. Now on top of that, what I do, I'll deploy UMA, Universal Monitoring Agent, to collect the infrastructure monitoring. Then after that we do what? UMA gives the magic here. What it does, automatically whatever the data collected from, that's where Ashish always says that we treat OpenTelemetry data as a first class citizen in the DXO2. So that means we treat the same as our proprietary agents, how it collects. Once data comes from the OpenTelemetry or eBPF, we treat the data as the same. It's a melt is melt, right? That's what we say. Okay, so let me show you how that complements, how it helps you to further triaging the issue, which scenario I explained. Okay, so in this I would show you hotel demo. One more thing I am going to show, coupon demo. Why I am going to show that coupon demo? This is internal demo. Here OpenTelemetry covered wide variety of the languages, but whereas our coupon demo covers the frameworks, like it covers the Spring, Quarkus, remaining other things. Why Quarkus I was mentioning? This is a better example for today's observability is not afterthought. Previously what? You used to develop the application, once it comes to the production you think about the observability. No more, it is not like that. You might have heard Observability 2.0. So it means applications, when they are designing it, they are thinking about the observability as well. So that's why Quarkus framework, it comes with a by default OpenTelemetry APIs inbuilt in it. So just you need to give the scrapping endpoint so that it can send the data. So that is the power OpenTelemetry enables users to do that. So because it has a open source API, anyone can take it. It's not like a vendor locked in, right? So you can take it and put them part of your application, so that I don't need to explicitly inject any agent to it. By default, inherently you can get the observability out of the application. That is the newer world of Quarkus. It will be there, And also I'm going to cover some more middlewares like ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ. Kafka already comes part of this OpenTelemetry demo. The remaining like ActiveMQ, RabbitMQ, IBMMQ will come part of the Coupon demo. And finally K8s cluster I'm going to deploy on top of that, which is going to come. Oh, 5 minutes left? Then I have to be very quick. Okay. So anyhow, I recorded the session. Okay, I'm going to skip in that case how my environment looks like. This is my environment. As I mentioned, this is my OpenTelemetry demo application deployed. The next one is Coupon demo application. One more emoji, I'll tell about this. Already Kaja covered because this is a Go application. Again, it comes from the open source community, eBPF. So this is a Golang based where UMA does using the eBPF monitoring. This is going to cover. And if you see here, this is our UMA. So you can see a bunch of things. So I'll take another 5 minutes, Atul. It's fine, right? Okay. Thanks for that, considering. Okay, so the next is like if you see this is my number of nodes, and okay, let me come here. Okay, this is what our landing page is. Okay, so it is like our service pages. You can see here we have two services. One is Hotel demo, another one is Wiley demo. Wiley is the Coupon demo which I explained previously. The Hotel demo is the where it comes with the all inside that application monitoring coming from the OpenTelemetry, and UMA gives the infrastructure observability. But I will not explain much here since we have less time. This is always the case. Okay, let me simulate the case where now if you see here, what is the advantage with our service is that it is not just giving you application monitoring, not giving you infrastructure monitoring. It is giving beyond that. It is let you know the business impact for the user. So how your SLIs, SLOs work for that particular thing. These business objectives which you can define and customize. By default, if you see here, I have a raw alarms here 155, but which automatically comes as a situations of 16, which means the noise reduction it has happened there. As a user, I can only concentrate on the 16 situations. I don't need to go through all the 155 alarms here, okay, notifications. So I can only concentrate on 16, but this is internally does by our default ML algorithm. Again, it can be customized based on your needs. Okay, so then I'll show you here. This is our hotel demo topology. As I opened with applications as well as infrastructure, it little bit shows like this. But once you let me here, if you see now, see this is what you can see which I showed in the first slide, right? This is the OpenTelemetry demo application where you can see front end proxy, front end, and you can see the currency was going in red. Okay, so that is the problem which I want to highlight it here. Okay, so how we can see that? Okay, since sorry guys, I'm little bit going speed because lack of time we have, but I'm very much interested. If you want more details, we can talk offline after the session as well. But here if you see that alarm was showing me this particular guy was impacted. Okay, so now I came to the triaging. This is one of our good particular use case where you can triage the issue. So now how I can triage the issue? You can see the same topology comes, it brings down all the events now. See, the topology is a byproduct of what you ingested, the metrics traces, all this. Out of this it creates the topology, then it brings all alarms related to it, metrics related to it. See, yeah, let me show you here. See, now when you come here, you see there is a hotel currency service. So average response time, that means my latency is going some problem. So because of that, there is some related alarms also. There was some memory issues also there, CPU issues also there. But how I further triage it? In the same screen, I can get the complete information. Now I'm seeing the information. This is the particular, you can see traces span metric duration. This came out of the spans from the OpenTelemetry. So now these are going into the problem. Now further these are the metrics which contributes to it. So then when I go here, this is particular transaction trace. Why? If you see, when I zoomed in, you can see the particular issue, and then further you can go and check what is the exactly all these attributes it would show. The what is the stack trace, where it got the issue, and then finally I want to show one more thing. See, I have shown all these things, but do I need to do this much stuff? You don't require. That's the beauty of our product. Let me show you the magic. That's where, if you see one more transaction trace I'm showing here, after this I'm going to show see, this is where you can see our dashboards also shows the CPU is on a specific node going up. That is one more thing. And but what I wanted to show, is this part. You see, there is a one generative AI summary. What could I have done first? Initially, to show you the complete analysis, I showed these are all things. But again, I was going very fast. I'm sure you will have trouble in catching me because I know I'm speaking very fast. But for you, it is simple. You see the suspect details and recommendation steps. You see what it says that, the current currency service has breached the threshold. The CPU utilization on the host, see, it is bringing the host. This is, see, if you see as an application monitoring perspective, it doesn't have any idea where your pod is running, because I am running completely on the Kubernetes, right, where my Kubernetes cluster has a 7 nodes. But here, see that as UMA helped you to monitor, the universal monitoring agent brings the all infrastructure details. Now it is able to correlate and give you the data because of this particular CPU on this particular node is causing the issue. So that means in a single click I can able to know it, and further it, as I showed you previously, the dashboard shown my CPU is up, and then there is a one more thing like we can see in the currency service. See, again, all these suspect details it would give, even indeed it would tell you the recommendation steps as well. Okay, so let me show you here one more thing. I'm almost done. I'm facing it. Okay, so I think I want to show one more thing that is not coming up. Yeah, this is the dashboard. Yeah, this is the dashboard I want to show. Yeah, currency one. There are some errors remaining. That's all it is. See, after that I made a CPU, whatever the simulator I ran, I made it down. After that it comes to the normal. That is all the remaining journey it shows. Due to the time I will cut that off, but only that thing is that it will come back to the green, and again our screen shows that it is green. But only one point where I can add the eBPF part I couldn't able to show, but again that was covered by Kaja. But we'll talk offline on that particular thing if required. I think time is really matters, guys. Sorry for that. that's all from my side. Ashish, any closing notes from you?
No, I think we were able to kind of showcase 101 of observability. It was a quick demo.
Yeah.
The product is pretty elaborate, but idea here was to showcase how we are embracing the open technologies, and you can also embrace, like with OpenTelemetry with data pipeline, eBPF, and other proprietary agents to get